and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope that you are all well and fine, and I hope that coronavirus is all good in your country and you don't have issues. If you do, stay at home, call a doctor, and try not to affect other people around you. But now let's get into the chase. In this video I will show you two projects that they were created by Saad. In the description box I have his Twitter, and as far as I can understand, he is an awesome guy. He has created some really cool stuff. I would also suggest you to check his Twitter, his GitHub. He really has some very cool projects, and in this live stream we are going to see two of these projects. Now, before we begin, I would like to remind you that if you want to take part, then again in the description box you can find the link for taking part. And really I don't need much from you, just a URL, something to review, and of course your name. Alright, now I think that without further ado we can start. The first thing is the portfolio. It is a very beautiful modern portfolio. I really like when I see unique and modern portfolios, and also the previous review number 4 was a code pen project. It was a portfolio one and it was again really unique. So try to create, if you're looking like for some motivation, try to create something unique, and this will be in a much better place for a higher manager. Alright, now let's start with this review. I'm going to close this. Okay, and it says, "Hi all, I'm Saad," and it has this beautiful emoji. He gives us some information like first Pakistani Google code in finalist, junior software developer, open source contributor, speaker, tech writer, maybe a future Google GDE or intern, and he has a laughing emoji. My suggestion here would be not to use that particular emoji, because this has a tone of laughing but not always in a good way. It seems like you don't get that very serious, which I'm guessing this is something that you really want. But if you're giving us this emoji, it's a bit controversial, so maybe just have the emoji that smiles slightly and not laughs so much. Okay, so this is something really small. Now, if you also want to make this paragraph a little bit more readable, then you can have like different lines. So for example, the first line would have this, then the second line this, the third line this, you get the fourth line, fifth, etc. And another thing is that everywhere you're using emojis with color, which is something I like, but here for the speaker you don't use an emoji with color. It's just black and white, so maybe try to find a different emoji. Cool. Then you have contact me and see my resume. For contact me, I can see that I go to the last part of your website, which is something that we're going to see later, so I'm going to close that. I will scroll down, and the next thing that I say is what I do. Crazy full stack developer who wants to explore every tech stack. And you have it like that. So my question here is, are you working with these technologies, or do you want to work with these technologies? Because by just reading this sentence I'm not very sure what do you want to do. So crazy full stack developer who wants to explore every tech stack. Okay, so again I'm not sure if you want or if you are using these technologies. If I click here, it doesn't do anything, but when I hover on something and it changes color, this means that it's clickable and I can see some extra information, but now I cannot. So my suggestion here would be to remove the hover effect. It's nice to have hover effects, but only if they add some value, and in this case, I'm sorry, but they don't add anything. It's nice that you have paid attention to small details. For example, I see that the hover effect here is purple, and everything, like every image, has this purple color, so it's nice, you're very detailed. But in this case, like, you can delete this feature. Now here you have some more information, like developer highly interactive front-end user interfaces for your web and mobile application, progressive web applications, integration of third-party services, and integration and automation testing using Selenium. Okay, this is cool. So let's continue. Then you have the open source projects. I can see that these are some, like, let's say GitHub projects. These are cool. If I click on them, if I right click on them, okay, I cannot do anything. If I just click on them like normally, I'm going to your GitHub. Okay, that's cool, but I would prefer to also like right click on them and do something. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening. Maybe it is an image we will see later. You have like 2, 4, 6 here. I think that I would prefer some more, because I know that in your GitHub you have a lot of projects, so maybe you could add also here some more projects. If I click now on more projects, again, I'm going to your GitHub. Okay, this is cool, keep it like that. Okay, after that section, open source projects, you have big projects. Now here I would have to suggest some things. What's the difference between open source projects and big projects? You have some text here that says some startups and companies that I help to create their tech. But again, I'm not really sure what you mean here. I can say that you have one project, but projects are all projects. You shouldn't differentiate them like that, open source and big projects, because they are all projects. Maybe this is your personal projects, whereas these are the projects that you have worked in somebody else. But try to find a different title, not big projects. And here you say some startups and companies that I help to create their tech. What do you mean by saying create their tech? Do you help them create some projects, or is it something different? Because I'm not sure. And again, here when you say some startups and companies, they are all companies. It's just that the startups are new companies, whereas these are companies that they are in the field for many years, but they are all companies. So again, try to find some different words here for explaining the difference between this section and this section. Other than that, it's really nice, and I don't have anything else to add about the UI. I like the simplicity of it. I like that it's minimalistic, and you get what you want to get. Continuing to the next section, which is achievements and certifications. And again, you have an emoji here, really cool. Achievement, certification, award letters, and some cool stuff that I have done. Okay, so here you have 3 achievements. I don't like that much this font family. I'm going to talk about that in a bit again. So I will continue. I like here that you have like these links. Now I will continue with blogs. Here I think that you meant to say blog, not blogs, not plural but singular. After that you say, with love for developing cool stuff, full stop. I love to write and teach others what I have learned. And here you don't have a full stop. Okay, and here you have an exclamation mark. What I'm trying to say is that maybe you should be a little bit more careful with your punctuation. For example, here you could use a full stop, whereas here maybe you could use a comma, not a full stop. Another thing is that sometimes you're using emojis like here, but in some other cases, like here, you don't use emojis. So you don't have here, you don't have here, but you do have here, and you do have here. So in some cases you do, in some other cases you don't. If you want to be consistent, either you should use everywhere or you shouldn't use everywhere. If you want to make your portfolio a little bit more like, let's say, formal, then you shouldn't use the emojis as they are more playful. But on the contrary, if you want your portfolio to be more playful, which is a nice thing, I like playful portfolios, then you could add everywhere an emoji or an icon. Another thing is that in some cases you're using this, let's say, subheader, and in some other cases you don't. For example, here in open source projects you don't have any subtitle or subheader. So try either to have everywhere or not. Again, my personal preference would be to have everywhere a subheader or a subtitle, because not every section is very clear. So it's nice to have something to read and understand what this section is all about. In the blog, not blogs, you have 2 articles. As I have already checked, they lead to Medium, which is a good thing. Another thing that you have is here that you say why React is the best. Are you sure that React is the best? I mean, I'm not sure that everyone would agree, but anyway, I will continue. Then you have the talks. I love to share my knowledge and get a speaker badge. That's really cool. I also like to share my knowledge. I'm not sure about getting a speaker badge. Do you always get a speaker badge? Or I don't know, I don't get that sentence. And again, I'm not sure about that particular emoji. Maybe something again like a slight smile, or I don't know, but I'm not sure about that one. You have some cool things right here under the talk section, and then you have the podcast again with an emoji, whereas here you don't have the emoji, and also here you don't have a full stop or an exclamation mark, whereas in some other sections you did have. And you say I love to talk about myself and technology. So here I have, let's say, 2 problems. The first one is that you write very often that you love to talk, you love to share, I don't know, you love like doing cool stuff. The thing is that it's weird to say that you love everything. Okay, there are some things that you love, there are some things that you like, there are some things that you maybe admire, but you cannot love everything. Try to change the verb. Sometimes you can write love, sometimes you can write like, sometimes you don't have to write anything. Like just I want to share my knowledge, not I love to share my knowledge. And here about the podcast is that you say I love to talk about myself. This sentence is a little bit controversial, because okay, maybe it's nice that you like to talk about yourself, but for example, if somebody wants to hire you, he would think that you're maybe a little bit selfish, maybe not a team player, because you're thinking about yourself and you talk about yourself too much. I don't know if this is true or not, but I don't think that many people would see that and say, hey, that's awesome that he likes to talk about himself. Maybe again, try to find a better verb. Okay. Then you have contact me, discuss a project, or just want to say hi, my inbox is open for all. This sentence could be improved a little bit, like contact me if you want to discuss a project, or if you just want to say hi, something like that, okay? You have every link, which is really helpful, really cool, just keep it like that. And you also have your email and your phone. If I click on your email, I don't get anything. Maybe I would prefer to get something, maybe open like an email platform or something like that, because if you hover on something, just I said earlier, it's better if there is an action. If I hover on something and there is not an action, then this is a bit weird. Okay, I think that pretty much that's it. I haven't done with this project. We have just one more thing to see, and this is to inspect it and see how it looks also in a mobile phone. Okay, let's start with a mobile phone. Just by looking at it, I think that it looks awesome. It is responsive, and I can see that you have put some work in that to make it look like really so cool. I like that. Some things that I have to add here is, as I said earlier, I'm not very sure about this font family. I will search it here. Font family. Okay, I can see that you are using this Montserrat, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I don't, with sans serif, personally, I think that it looks better. I'm not sure if you agree with me, but you can leave me a comment and we can discuss it more. The other thing that I noticed is that in some cases there is a padding with the title and the subtitle, but in some other cases there is not a padding or a margin. Like here in this case, as you can see, there is a padding or a margin, whereas here there isn't. And again, here there is, here there isn't. Like, I'm not sure why it's that. I think that everywhere either you should have like a padding or not. Alright, that's it. Other than that, it looks really well, and I think that you have done an amazing job. And people, if you're looking for a portfolio, I would truly suggest that. It looks awesome, it's responsive, and you can add a lot of things like projects and achievements, and all this other cool stuff that we just saw. I will continue with another project, which again is created by Saad, and you can find it in his GitHub. Again, in the description box you will find that link as well, and it's a React blog. It says React plus GitHub issues, your personal blog. I like that. React blog is a personal blog system built on React that helps you create your own personal blog using GitHub issues. This is really cool, and we are going to see the live demo. I've already opened that here, and the first thing that I noticed is that your icon is the React one, the favicon is the React one. I'm not sure if you want it like that, because I can see here that you have a cool icon. I like that favicon, but for here I wouldn't use the React. Maybe because it's a blog, I would expect something different. Okay, now here you have your name and software developer, and here you're using some different font families or some different typography. Use the same typography here and here for these two things. For example, you could have your name just like this typography, which is something that I like, but then for software developer you could use like this simple typography. I think it will look much better. The other thing is that I really don't understand what is the 0.88 minutes to read. Like, usually it's like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, but 0.88, like, I'm not sure what you meant here. I like the simplicity of it, it's really cool, I really like that. So let's just click on one project and see what it has inside. There is the title, the name of the author, an image of the author, and then some details like view on GitHub, and like, I don't know, the dates, how many minutes you want to read it, a big image, again it's cool, live demo with a nice typography, and of course some other details. I really like that, and I don't have to add many things. It's just that you have a back button, and other than a back button you could also add something like next and previous article. So this could be home, because in reality it goes back to the home, and maybe here, like down below, you could add a previous and a next. So you could go to the previous article or to the next article. The same thing it goes for the mobile view. I can see that it is responsive and you have done a really beautiful work. And I think that that's it with Pasta's projects. They were really cool. I really loved them. He has a unique style, and I would suggest you guys to look at his GitHub, as he has done some amazing things. Alright, that was it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share it with your friends, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. The last thing that I would like to ask you is, if you have a project that you want me to review, then check the description box and you will find more information. That's it, guys. Have a beautiful night or have a beautiful day. See you real soon with similar content.